Okay guys, before I start, if you do play Fantasy Football League, you can come join my league. We got prizes for top 3 positions, and if you just join, you also get some prizes as well. Unfortunately, Guardiola's Legion is at 52, but if you want to join, the link is down below in the description, or you can literally join. This is my code where is it? Here it is, geelrp. Link will be down below in the description for the direct link, so do sign up. Don't forget, you get entered into the prize pool just by joining. And I'm not that good at Fantasy Premier League, but that's what you're not here for. Not for Fantasy Football advice. You're here for FIFA advice. Now, the most broken formation, the best formation of the year. What is it? I'm pretty sure you guys know what it is. I think it's time to conclude this now since we're at the end. A couple of things that's important. Number one is the players that I do have. You do need top tier players, but you don't need amazing. To be honest, players like these are more than good enough. I'll be honest. You don't need some insane players. I've got some new additions in just to make it a bit more perfect. But players like Kaiser, they still work very, very well. And players like Atal. So some of these cards, you don't need like the best of teams. You just need teams that are somewhat updated. Team of the season and above is completely good. Now, we go into the formation, the 5-4-1. Now, the most important things in this formation is the left back and the right back. They have to be fast. If you don't have them fast, it's not going to work. If you watch the pro scene, the top pro scene, you're never going to see a guy here below 85 sprint speed, both for defensively and offensively, to go back and forward as quick. Back three have to be quick. We're talking about full back speed here is what you really need. Ignore Thiago Silva. 2 centre mids that can do a bit of everything. One that can ideally shoot. Sometimes I put a towel there. So I'd go like, so in game I'll be like kind of like this. So what I'll do is with a towel is I'll move him like this. Something like that. 2 wingers. And then a striker that can do everything. Now, Heung-min Son card is a perfect example of someone that can do absolutely everything on the pitch. It's very, very important you have that. Now, this has been used from pros to casuals. It's won people on the pro scene. It's won people tournaments. It's won the World Cup. It's won everything. It's the most broken formation. Potentially might be even next year if things don't change. Okay. A couple of things I want to mention. Okay. Let's go over the tactics. So the balance tactic now. There's a couple of things. I've released 3 tactics on these. I've released 2. One's a pro level one. The one who won the team of the season. The 2v2 cup. Who plays for Team Hullet. And I think Levy's tactics and then my tactics. Okay, there's something I need to mention to you. This has to be balanced. If you put anything else, it's not going to work. Now listen, it's important that you stick with these tactics. Don't just play them for 5 games and then you think, oh, I'm winning because I've got 20 depth. Neil told me to use 50. He must be wrong. Because then you're going to end up long-term losing. Okay, it's good to get the best staple template in the beginning, then adjust it after. You have to give it some time. A lot of people lose games because they're frustrated. You can't blame the tactic, okay? So you can use anywhere between 30 to 55 depth. I will not go beyond that though. 55 would be like the most I would go, simply because this team is too wide defensively. Most of you guys will struggle with a width above 50. I would strongly recommend it to be 30. Levy has a short one, and all the pros do have a short depth as well. Width, sorry. The depth itself, this can range. Now, some people prefer to have it around about 65. And the reason for this, after looking at some gameplay for some of you guys, is that a lot of you guys struggle with building up because you want to go straight route 1. There's 2 ways you got to look at this. Okay, yeah, you sit higher on the pitch, okay? But if you lose the ball, you're going to be more in trouble. So you have to weigh this up. Okay, you're going to be a bit better, bit more forward on the attack, but on the counter attack, you could be in very much big trouble. So anywhere between 65 and realistically 45 depth. To be honest, I think a sweet spot is 55. I think it's a really good spot. You're not so far ahead where you're getting auto offside territory, but you're not so far back where you have to build up so slowly and force the ball going backwards. You're going to have players up the pitch. You can press manually yourself. Do not go anywhere, in my opinion, don't go anywhere above these regions. You can see the pro tactics yourself. They have higher depth, but I wouldn't advise it. You can always change it if you need to. Now, build-up play, this is something that's important. Every tactic I see, 5-4-1, has balanced build-up play. But some of you watched even the pro scene, they even use long ball. Because long ball is so effective to push a player going forward. Now, don't forget, pros, they're pressing this button literally every second inside, every minute in the game, they're pressing this button. Like, I probably press this button like 180 times probably inside the game. Who is messaging me at this time? Unbelievable. Long ball. So that's the thing. if you are bad with L1 triggers and you're really bad with build-up play, use long ball. It's going to help you. All it means is get it behind. Don't look at this graphic and think you're playing Route 1 football. You're not playing at Stoke City. All it means is getting behind. I would strongly advise you to use it. If you really want to, you can use balance, but either one of these two are fine. Slow build-up play ruins the formation, only to be used to close the game, as if you pause the game and you close the game out. Fast build-up play, it can work. It's a bit like you'll be done for the counter, and I think it's too quick. And although it might work for a few games against a weaker player, once you verse players, so like let's say you play foot champs, let's say your first 5-6 games, fast build-up play may work, but you're going to see balanced and long ball for the long run is going to be better. That's also a deception with tactics. People, they'll use fast build-up play and they'll be like, oh, I've won my first 4 games of foot champs when they're versing some silvers. But then once you have someone who knows what they're doing, they're going to be able to counter it. Is it because the tactics have suddenly stopped working? No, it's because your opponents got better. You can't get away with cheap, quick tactics early on. So you can get away with it early on, but you can't get away with it later on inside the game. It's the better players on the same level as you or better than you. You can't get away with it. I would recommend long ball. If you really insist, you can use balance. I would still recommend long ball. Direct passing is the one to go here. Now there's 2 widths here. People are saying, oh, pros use 1 width. To be honest, you can use either. 1 width is just, now every formation has different widths, okay? The 5-4-1 1 width, they're not going to be like this. They're not going to look like this when you attack. It's going to be wide, but just a bit more narrow. That's all the 1 width means. To be honest, you could probably go between 1 to 100, and I promise you, most of you guys won't know the difference. I'll tell you honest truth. Like, I'm not lying. I've given people some tests. I said, what width do you think this is? They have no idea. Now, to be honest, 100 is maybe a bit on the extreme end. I wouldn't really go that far. I would always say 50 is always a good range. It's always, because in that way you can adjust it for your playstyle. You can always adjust it. That's what the pros do. Do you think pros, when they may watch, a pro may watch, like, let's say Tex uploads a video. Let's say he's won a tournament. They may watch Tex's video and they'll copy his tactics, like you do for mine. But then after, they'll play like a 10, 15 games and be like, oh, you know what? Tex has the width too high. I like my players more close together, and then they adjust it after. That is how pros adjust their tactics. That's how you should adjust it the same. Players in the box, I'll put it on 7. Corners and free kicks as you want. Striker, I would say stay forward, get in behind. It's important. Do not put false 9. People suggest this. Do not put false 9. It's no point. The only reason you'll do that is if you're trying to close the game out. You want your striker to be forward. If he's not forward, who's going to be forward? No one. You need someone to be up there so you can pass the ball to that quick 1-2 and you get the ball and you get that long ball build-up play. You want someone making the money buying with the L1 trigger first time on top. Left mid and right mid, come back, get in behind. It's simple. And then get into the box for cross is what I recommend. So come back on the fence, get in behind and get into the box for cross. Both centre mids. Now, what I realised is when I put one of these players on balance or get forward, a lot of you guys struggled. Please guys, you have to understand, you have to play with it, stay back first, put get forward, and if you find it to be too offensive, then just put stay back. I know most of you guys know this, but there's always going to be one person that's going to be like, oh no, I put it on get forward, but it's too attacking. Then change it. The whole idea behind formation and tactics is that you find what works for you, the staple, then you adjust it for your playstyle. If you are going to put the player on get forward, this is important though. It doesn't matter which one you use. I prefer the left player, so normally I'll go like this and put the left player on get forward. Just remember, when you're running back and you're defending, this guy, you have to run back all the time backwards. You cannot try to, like, let's say you lose the ball and turn a play and a towel's gone forward and you have Caicedo here. You cannot go and attack and be aggressive, be the aggressor to the opponent, because your back three is going to be exposed. You have to be passive and almost run backwards with this player all the time. So that's the only thing I would say if you are going to be playing like get forward. Still, people are going to be struggling with that. That's the solution for that. Just trust me, run back with this guy and promise you'll change everything. Back three on stay back, left back and right back, join the attack and overlap. Elite players, players that are rank 1 around that region, I'd recommend stay back while attacking and attacking fullbacks. You probably know what I'm talking about. But for everyone else, join attack and overlap. Just make things simple. You can use hug the sidelines. Now, what I like to do, put the width of 1, like this. And then if I need width, I activate hug the sideline. See that? Like a magician. If I need width, it instantly goes to, like, imagine 100 width or even beyond that. Hug the sidelines. If I don't need width, I turned hug the sidelines off, then I got 1 width. So this way you have 2 widths in the game. A lot of pros were doing that. I think they were doing that. We couldn't really see because some pros were not showing, but I saw once or twice some pros are, for example, using 1 width and they're using hug the sidelines to close the game out, for example, as similar how you might do like in a 4-2-3-1, like as you see in, or like my 4-3-3, something like that. So this way you can have both systems. So if you think your team is too wide, you can narrow it yourself on the fly. You never have to change inside the game. Perfect. But that is probably the best tactic this year. There's no doubt about it. I think it definitely is the best tactic. I mean, I don't enjoy playing it, but like, let's say I really want the win, I would use it. I mean, I personally don't use it myself. Like, listen, I'm not going to use a 5-4-1. At that point, it's no point in playing it. I play for fun, to enjoy it. Maybe like 3-4 years ago, or maybe like if I was trying to compete or something, maybe. But it still works, still very, very effective. Anyways, don't forget to join the Fantasy Premier League. Link will be down below in the description. We'll have prizes for the top 3. Also, you get a prize. You enter into FIFA point or FC point giveaway. And don't worry, I know it started a week late, but don't worry, you're still entered in the giveaway. Links down. I think it's like 100 people here or whatever. So don't forget to join as well. Anyway, link down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Peace out and catch you next time. Peace.